Hello, and welcome back to Brit Reviews It All. And today I am going to be talking about the episode 4 of One of Us is Lying. This is season 2, and this is called Simon Says Gotcha. Okay, so now we are basically coming in from where they are coming back from getting rid of Jake's body. They're coming back, docking the boat. As they're doing that, here comes the detective. She's pulling up to bring back Jake's phone. Not bring back Jake's phone, sorry, bring back Cooper's phone, because she had Cooper's phone. I'm supposed to be looking right here, sorry, but supposed to be bringing back Cooper's phone. Now for me, I felt like, okay, you had got the warrant to retrieve Cooper's phone. You looked through what you needed to look through. Y'all found what y'all needed to find, and you could have made arrangements with his father to return the phone directly to Cooper at his home, versus going through his text messages and realizing, oh, okay, well, this is where Cooper said he's gonna be, so I'm gonna pop up and say I'm returning your phone. And basically she was saying that she was there to let him know that that was a fake, which I thought was so crappy. It was like, girl, okay, whatever. So she does that. Now I feel like when the detective is coming around, she's doing what a detective does, so they're trying to catch them up on anything that they may say that maybe a little bit kind of lead them in the right direction of some information that they need to know. And that's what she was trying to do. She was also even trying to be like, oh, like she was into the whole boat and the yacht and whatnot. And Janae was like, you have a warrant? And basically had to say, okay, well, no, like my parents are very private. I'm sure they wouldn't want just anybody come out on their boat, which is why I said, do you have a warrant? Now, it was kind of where they were stuck between a rock and a hard place, because no, they don't want the detective to come onto the boat, period. You don't want her to be on there pretending like she's just like, oh, so into the idea of this boat and it's so grand and luxurious, but she's really actually looking for something to point her in the direction of what they are doing and where Jake is. Okay, so that was that. Now going on to the next day, everybody is exhausted. They've been out all night trying to getting rid of Jake's body, because they actually did. And Giselle, what a desperate woman or young lady that she is on the school campus, dressed up in the cheerleader uniform, like full on teaming up with Vanessa to hashtag Team Find Jake, whatever. So I was just like, I kind of felt like on Mean Girls, where the guy who was just like, she doesn't even go here. Like, I felt like that. Like, you don't even go here. Like, you're literally here every day on this campus. Like, this is a high school. What are you doing here? Why? Do you have nothing better to do? But anyway, so that's going on. At this point, Vanessa is saying that they are going to search the woods, because she got a tip that was where, and it was a picture showing where Jake's vehicle was last. So I was just like, oh man, like, okay, here we go. This is not good for them to want to go to the woods. Not a good thing, okay? In the specific area where Jake's car was. So I don't know, we're gonna have to, we're gonna see what happens with that. So they're just like, oh. So she announced it that that's what they were gonna do, to have they were gonna have a search party. Now obviously whoever Simon says is the leak, and that is the person who sent Vanessa that photo. All right, now let's see. So while they're at school, Cooper, he goes to his locker, he opens it, and what do you know, the mask that they I think it was the one that Janae had, or somebody had that mask on Halloween night, and the mask, which the mask was actually in Cooper's locker. Still not a good thing, because that's letting you know that whoever Simon says is actually a person that goes to the school with them. So, but at least that kind of narrows it down. It's not just anybody, it's somebody who's in that school. So let's see. So of course they've come to the conclusion that Giselle is not who she says she is. She's lying about her identity. They found like several different profiles with different names under it. And that's what it was. I mean, Addie at this point is just like over it. She's already annoyed that you came out basically saying that you and Jake were messing around. So Addie is already feeling some kind of way about Giselle. So at this point she was just like, okay, let's bump all the back talk, chitter chatter. Who is Giselle? Where did she come from? Why is she here? Whatever. Addie's like, I'm gonna go ahead and confront her. And she did. And Addie did not like what Giselle had to say, because some of the things that Giselle was saying was pretty much letting her know, like, nah, she ain't lying about the fact that her and Jake were actually like messing around, like for real. But Giselle got not even nice nasty. Like, she just really went for the jugular, and Addie was left there like, one zip those lips. She was stuck. At this point, right after that little bit of a conversation between Giselle and Addie gets a text message basically telling her to go and vandalize Giselle's car, and Addie had no problem doing that. Okay, she took a bat from somebody that was outside and went to work. In the process of doing that, she saw a necklace hanging from the review mirror, snatched it, and they took off. So that was that. Now we come back to where the principal is getting on to Addie, and it's the meeting with Addie and her mom, basically just kind of going over what Addie has been doing as of late. And surprisingly, her mama actually was taking up for her, and I'm like, finally mom, thank you for showing up, god dang, for your daughter. So she shows up. Excellent. 10 points for you, Addie's mom. And she's just like, yeah, no. She was like, okay, well, what would you expect her to do? You know what I'm saying? After everything that she's been going through pertaining to Jake. And then you have this girl flaunting her tail around this school right in front of her face. Okay. So I think Addie actually needed that. She needed to know that her mom had her back, because for a while, if you watch the first season, we know that Addie's mom was very much on her about being a particular type of woman in order to marry Jake and have this whole lifestyle, you know. But whatever. Now, let's see, Giselle didn't press charges, and Addie was just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, she probably want to press charges because she don't want the police coming into her business and getting all up into who she really is. So of course she don't want the police involved. In the end, Addie just got suspended, so it was like a little slap on the wrist, girl, get it together. Now Nate, and I put Jake on my notes. No, Brittany, Nate, he was acting a bit weird, so Brown was just kind of kept questioning him, like, hey, you know what's going on, you acting weird. And then he finally tells her that Simon Says told him to steal money from where he works, steal money from the cash register, and to hide it outside in the dumpster. And for him, not a good thing, because he is technically still on probation. So if he gets caught, he's going to actually go to jail. And so he's just pretty much just like, dude, like, what do I do? But he has to do it. He's, again, between a rock and a hard place. So it's like, god dang it. Also, same day, all of this is happening on the same day. Janae, she gets a timed message from Simon Says, and so she has to hurry up, run away to whatever specific bathroom she was told to go to, find what was in there. It was a flash drive. Then it was telling, and she also texts Maeve at the same time too, because Maeve is like our tech person. She's the tech person. She, you know, is going to try to help them, you know, try to figure out where those messages are coming from if they can. So she does that. They're running, flying down the hallway to get to the computer lab, because that was the second stop. And she has to put the flash drive in there, and OMG, freaking porn popped up on the computer. And not only Janae's computer, but every single computer in the computer lab, and the big projector, it was on there. Now, of course, Maeve was trying to get the trace, so she's like, hey, like, we just gotta take it for what it is. And of course, guess who gets in trouble? Janae gets in trouble and Maeve gets roped into it because she was also basically there as well, and it is what it is. Now the principal, she actually got control of the flash drive, and she pretty much is just like basically saying that Janae has been a bad influence on Addie and now on Maeve, and that she is actually suggesting something different for her specifically, for Janae, basically expelling her pretty much, and that like, hey, I'm gonna be talking to your parents to suggest some different options for you. I'm like, God dang, Simon Says, you really like getting them. Like, oh my gosh, it's terrible. But yeah, let me see. So after that, Addie is at home because she's been suspended at this point. She pulls out the necklace that she took from Giselle's car, and she realizes that, okay, she has the same matching necklace that Jake actually gave to her. So she's like, okay, so clearly this girl, she really does know Jake to, like, for real. Like, she has a matching necklace. They have matching necklaces. She knows some intimate details about certain things that only a person who was intimate with Jake would know. So they are like really, well, Addie anyway is really trying to like pin down, like, I think that Simon Says is Giselle, basically. So they meet up, Murder Club, they meet up to discuss what, you know, everything that's going on, and what not Janae, but what Addie found out as far as the necklaces and everything, and just saying, hey y'all, like, I really think we need to look into Giselle. I think that she is Simon Says. In the process of them talking about this and just saying we need to investigate, of course Brown, when she thinks she knows everything and she's not with it, and she's like, okay, well, why? Like, why would we not look into Giselle? Like, we know she's a liar. She has multiple connections to Jake. This might be our person. In the process of them doing that, Janae's dad actually came home early, so they had to scramble to pull down the shade to not show their board that Janae has been using to help them through this process of trying to figure out who Simon Says is. The dad dismisses the other kids. Whatever, we knew that was going to happen, so now they have to have a talk. And he's like, basically he wants to send her to a prep school, and she just flips out because she's like, dude, like, you left me alone at like one of the worst times of my life. Like, you left me here by myself, and now you want to come back in and act like I'm the bad person and I'm this and I'm that, and that you need to do this and send me to a school, a prep school for girls, you know. Like, it was like just terrible. And it was like, dang, dude, like, for real, like, she really just had to like point that out to you. You didn't think your daughter like needed you or needed someone to confide in, to console her? She lost her best friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Now moving on, Addie, she actually goes to try and talk to Cole about Giselle, and from talking to him, he's pretty much telling her like, look, leave her alone. Something's not right about her. She's certified cuckoo, and we don't know, you know what, we don't know what this girl would do, so you need to like back off and leave her alone. We gonna handle her. I was like, ooh, okay. Like, so now they really looking at Giselle like, oh man, like, no, this girl really might be Simon Says for real. Then let's see, Cooper and Chris, they meet up really in the weirdest way. Cooper was out for a run. Chris is like driving, like creeping in his car, and Cooper's like freaking out because he's like, oh my gosh, this is Simon Says, they're trying to get me, they're trying to take me out. Cooper takes off running, and here comes Chris jumping out the car, coming to run up behind him, like trying to talk to him. It's like, dude, you could have reached out to him way better than that. You could have at least rolled your window down and kind of yelled his name out so that you didn't scare him. Basically Chris is like, dude, like, I need to talk to you because I don't know what it is, but it's almost like that detective lady, she has read our messages. She came to talk to me, like, you just wanted to let you know what was going on. So, you know, Cooper was like, okay, thank you. Then he also has to tell him like, Cooper, you need to tell the world, your followers, that we are no longer together, because I am literally getting like they are thrashing me at this point, because every time they see me out with a guy, they think that I'm cheating on you. Like, no, like, you need to let them know we are not together. And of course Cooper's like, okay, I'm gonna take care of it. And it's like, I mean, come on, Cooper, you should have been did that. Like, that's not right to even do Chris like that, because he's done nothing but try to be nothing but nice and supportive to you, knowing what's like this entire time. So yeah, but that's that. And then Chris has to keep saying, hey, on a need to know basis. If it's something I don't need to know, don't tell me nothing else. I don't want to know nothing. I already know too much. Don't tell me nothing else, okay? So that was that. Now we get where Addie gets a visit from Brownwin. And she's just like, you know what, you're right, I think we do need to look into Giselle. Let's work together, let's try to figure this out. But so that's that. Now they were, you know, working, trying to get that figured out, get it sorted. And actually Addie was the one who figured out where Giselle stays, because this is what they were trying to do, find out where she stays, so that while Giselle was out at the search thing for Jake in the woods, someone will be over at wherever she's staying, searching her room for more information. So they figured it out because they caught a picture, not a picture, but they caught a clip out of Vanessa's live, and it was Giselle's car, and it showed a sticker, a parking sticker, and that led them to where she is staying. So we're getting somewhere. Now over to Nate. He still has to do what Simon says told him to do, which is to steal the money from his job. Nate is nervous as a tick. I could understand that. He's still on probation, like I said. And when he gets the money, does what he's supposed to do, he also sets up a little mini camera, because, you know, they're like, we're going to try to catch whoever it is that told you to do that, because they're going to come and they're going to retrieve the money, right? Now he goes outside, he puts it where he's supposed to, has the camera up. Not too long after he just did that, in comes Fiona, thirsty tail. She comes out, and she's like, as she pops open the door, she knocks the camera off the stair, whatever, and it falls down the drain. And Nate saw it when it fell, but he couldn't react, you know, because he has to play it off just like, God dang it, Fiona. Ugh. Anyway, so that didn't work out. She tried to come on to him again, and he pretty much had to tell her, like, hey, you know, I can't do this, you know, you're cool and all, you're a girl, you know. And I could tell that Nate actually does like her, but his like for Fiona is not as strong as how he feels about Bronwyn. So he finally lets her know. Now let's see, Brownwyn and Nate. So it's the day that they're gonna go do the search in the woods. Brownwyn and Nate are on the team to go to Giselle's room to search it, while everybody else is over at the in the woods for the search thing for Jake. Now as they're coming, they're watching, they're waiting for Giselle to leave. They notice that who comes out of the room? It was freaking TJ. So TJ and Giselle are sneaking around, like behind the scenes, kind of messing around on the low, like very much into each other, kind of, sort of. They caught them kissing, you know. He leaves in his car, she leaves in her car, and Brown and Nate was just like, yeah, okay, so like, does TJ have a thing for like messing with every single woman that Jake has messed with? Weird, but okay. Anyway, so that happens. They finally get into the room. They're searching around, looking for nothing. It wasn't really nothing for them to really find. She couldn't get on the computer. She was having a hard time doing that. And that was actually like, girl, you probably should have had Maeve with you, because she's the person who does the stuff with the computer, breaking in passwords and breaking into systems and things. That's Maeve's job. And Nate is in there trying to be all like, you know, romantic and things like that. I'm like, y'all, this ain't the time. Y'all are in Giselle's motel room. This is not the time for whatever you're trying to do here, Nate. Like, they're like looking at each other, staring each other in their eyes and things like that. I'm like, focus, people. You have limited time here. You need to focus on why you're there. Now, while this is happening, they're talking, and all of a sudden they hear the door, so they take off and they run to the bathroom. And they realized that it was housekeeping. So Brownwyn turns the shower on. She tells her, hey, you know, I'm showering, can you come back later? And the housekeeper's like, okay, you know, she leaves. So them two, they're in the shower, her and Nate, here they go. Now they want to have a moment and they want to make out and remove clothes and do all this, and I'm like, y'all, this is not the time for this, okay? In the process of them doing that, they knocked over something and they found the bag with the money in it that Nate had put outside the garbage, the trash can outside his job. So they were just like, holy crap, maybe Addie is correct and we might be getting somewhere, and Giselle might actually be Simon Says. Back over to the woods, they were pretty much walking around or whatever. Addie, she's not doing a very good job of keeping an eye on, secretly keeping an eye on Giselle, because Giselle like confronted her and everything. And just to even more let you know that Giselle might be a little cuckoo. But they find a bullet shell casing out in the woods. I want to say that Simon Says may have placed it there, because I'm wanting to say that the murder club is very thorough with removing any bit of evidence that could have been out there that night, from that night, and gotten rid of everything. So yeah. Now after all of that is said and done, the murder club, they meet back up. They giving each other the update. Maeve, she tells them that she has figured out a way. She couldn't figure out who Simon Says is, like, where the messages are directly coming from, because it was so just like very intricate, like it was very tough. It's very tough to tell. But she said she did figure out a way to be able to send messages back to Simon Says, so she can do that from her computer. Now, while they're sitting there talking and blah 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 blah, should we do it, should we not do it, Maeve sent Simon Says a message anyway, and it was just like, wait, what did you say? Like, what did you do? And Maeve was just like, I sent the message, and then right after that, not too long, they get a message saying, from Simon Says, saying for them to meet up at that the old water park thing that they used to go to, or would go to meet. So that was that. Now they go out to the water park. They're walking around, going to look around to try to find Simon Says, which they think is Giselle at this point. As they're walking as a group, Addie walks off on her own, and I'm like, girl, you crazy? You should know not to do that, girl. Don't do that. But she did anyway. And so they're off, they're like talking, and then they realize, they're like, hey, where's Addie? Like, Addie's not here. They hear a scream, they run off, and they find a body laid out on the ground and with a mask on, and then Addie's like back off in the corner. So I'm just like, okay, I'm assuming that Addie was the one who screamed, because she's the one who saw what happened as far as where the body landing on the ground. Simon Says obviously must have taken Giselle, because when they removed the mask, it was Giselle who was dead on the ground with the mask on. So whoever Simon Says truly is, really is, must have pushed Giselle from the top with that mask on, and that was that. So they get a message basically saying that they don't make the rules, they play the game. So at the end of the day, they still don't, they thought they got somewhere, and then they got knocked back a couple more steps into finding out who the heck is Simon Says. I mean, the episodes, they are getting better and better and better. I am so ready to get over into episode 5. I can't remember, I think it's like 7 or 8 episodes, so I'm trying to do my best to get through these, but it's so good. So I will be back with the next episode. I want to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell button, and you'll be notified when I post another video. And please don't forget, let me know, are you into this series? If you are not, give it a try. It's actually pretty good if you're into like murder mystery kind of stuff like that. I'm into it. But let me know what you thought. Thank you. Bye, y'all.